What's going on, guys? What's up? To another edition of In Our Mom's Basement. I am, of course, Rage Quit Pat, and I am joined by my great buddies here, Headshot Dan and No Show Barbosa. What's going on, guys? How's everyone's Thursday? I stay a little late as well. Barbosa, how was yours?
Okay.
Oh, early
Sorry,
tech.
technical difficulties here.
Well, it wouldn't be our podcast without any technical difficulties, so it's okay.
Did you say anything? Your voice blocked out on my system.
How was your Thursday after I introduced you?
Oh, how's your Thursday? That's interesting. Been all right. Cleaning room. Yeah.
Cleaning his room?
Yeah.
It sounds like it. Sounds like it.
No, I moved my bed. Yeah, I had to create space. That's why.
To do activities?
No, sir. She's not there. She's not here today.
Did you make more room to do activities?
Well, more like like to actually have space to play games. You guys saw how tight it was before.
That's all right.
I was really like smacked her. Anyways, guys, let's get the show started, right?
Let's get the show on the road. All right, so let's begin with we have some cool alpha members here that got the new Xbox dashboard. So I'll let Headshot Dan and No Show Barbosa take it away here. So yeah. I'll let you guys take it away here. You guys got the new dashboard, so you guys messed around with it. I have not. I am an insider member, but I did not get the new dashboard yet. So I'll let you guys take it away. No Show. The floor is yours.
They definitely changed everything. So basically, Windows has been using this for a little while. It's called Fluent Style. It's supposed to make more faster the applications, everything, and how it runs. So it's not all clunky. And so when you start the dashboard and everything, it's completely different. It's fully redesigned. It goes instead of going from the actual, it's still kind of the same way, but it goes bottom. So you goes in one layer and you can add more stuff into the layers. Like your pins, you can follow somebody and have literally everything that they do in one stack when you're following them. You can add the store, the actual, and probably more apps within as they come. I just think it's really good. It's actually extremely fast. The start menu, as me and Dan were discussing before, even the podcast, it is amazing. Like they completely changed the layout. It's not clunky at all. It's a snap and it's quick. And the thing is, this is only half of the actual full update. Like we haven't still got the avatars that which they announced on A3. You revamp avatars, and so there's more features that weren't added yet to it. So we only got one half of it. So I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to see what's coming next.
I've never seen a company change the dashboard as much as the Xbox has since the day it launched. But from what I'm looking at, it looks good. I can't wait to. Hopefully, I do get it soon. Dan, Headshot, what do you think? You got it also.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I feel like we're gonna see that being applied to for example, like the video apps and everything. Sometimes, like when you open a window on the previous operating system, there's always that clunk. Like you felt it, like the screen tear a little bit. Like it when it switched from one window to the other. Now it's like 1, 2, 3. It's there. So I can't wait to see they applying that for like streaming. Like for example, I'm a big anime watcher. I watch Crunchyroll on there sometimes, and the app, like when you're trying to load something, it takes a while for some reason. But I can see with this actually being like quick. It will load up. It'll be there because the inside of it, the actual structure of the operating system is completely different. You can tell by the way it's moving, like the way it works.
Do you see them sticking with this update for a while, or do you see them changing the format once again? Maybe sometime next year or something.
No,
not like
think
this year.
Maybe
sometime
soon.
next year.
This is it's probably one of the best dashboards. I mean, I love it. It's very, very fast. It's very responsive. It's probably one of the most reliable dashboards I've seen that we have right now. So I don't see us moving to any other dashboard anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they're gonna change. Like they might add new like features on it, but I think the main layout, the way it's set up, it's going to be the same for at least a long while. I think it runs smoother on the Xbox One S. I can only imagine how it's going to run on the X. Like Dan said, it's probably going to be a big difference. I think this is like the next step. And the one thing I have to say, I am not sure if the layout itself is running on 4K. I personally own a 4K TV, so. Well, I see it, like, I'm not sure if it's running in 4K. I think that's the next thing that, the companies have to do now. Not only Microsoft, but actual Sony. Like, if you have a 4K TV, your operating system, the layout should be on 4K as well. Yeah. Because the TVs do the switch. You see the switch happening in front of you with the TVs. Like, you can actually see it when it goes from standard to HDR10 4K. Like, the TV, like, has to switch the actual resolution. I don't want to see that anymore. I just want to be like put up with the game and no switch, just smooth.
But I think doing a 4K dashboard is, I don't know, it's not really needed because it's just going to take more resources of the console itself. So I mean, if they don't make it a 4K dashboard, I mean, I'm not gonna cry about it,
So. That's good amount covered for the Xbox UI. Now, Barbosa, we talked about this earlier. The PS4 OS, some features did leak, including one of them was the Twitch now. You could stream 1080p, 1080p, 60 frames per second. Anything else you saw that might have leaked? That's the only thing I caught myself.
Yeah, they did a couple things where like for sub accounts and parent accounts, like for example, so you have one account and multiple accounts under it, like based off the main account for families wise. Personally, for me, that doesn't affect me, but I can imagine that helps other people. But it's been it's 5.0, right? So this is like a big update. Like Xbox just had theirs, right? They changed everything.
Now it's Sony's now. Now you wonder, do you see them changing their format, or do you still see it just being the same? I mean, it's very easy to navigate through, PlayStation.
I think they won't change it, to be honest. The layout's going to be the same. 4.5, they change a couple icons and everything in terms of what it looks like, but it's still the same in terms of how it actually looks. Like there's a couple things change, but I personally don't see them doing that. And the thing is, I see a lot of comments, and the biggest complaint from it is that they want more. Like 5.0 it's a big number, It's not just a 3.2, a 3.3, or 4.3.
Yeah,
it's
just
a
fixing
5.
some hiccups. Yeah.
A name change. Everybody wants that, but that's the joke. It's an ongoing joke when it's ever gonna happen, right? A lot of us have names from like back when we were teenagers, and we can't change it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I always like PlayStation updates, but I agree with you. I think they're probably going to keep the format and everything the same. They've never changed much, but I mean, it's still very easy to navigate through PlayStation. It's not that difficult. I kind of wish they would if they were going to change it, they maybe switch up the store a little bit, make it a little bit easier to go navigate through the store. It is a little annoying sometimes.
Very cluttered.
It is very cluttered. So hopefully they kind of change the way that navigates.
Yeah.
How do you feel about when you navigate through the store? That's my important thing. Like if I want them to switch anything in the new update, I would like it to be the PlayStation Store.
I'm okay with the store. I mean, there's a couple things that I wish they changed. Like, for example, I don't know why before it wasn't like this, but themes and avatars are inside add-ons now, and I'm like, I don't know where that makes sense. But I'm pretty satisfied with the store itself. Like, the search mechanism is a little bit off, but the biggest thing I just feel like I don't know exactly what they're doing with this 5.0, and the weird part with when you sign up for it, they ask one specific question. Do you have PlayStation Now or not? So I wonder what they're like actually thinking about that. Why they asked that? Maybe PlayStation Now will go for free or something cheaper.
I mean, that would be pretty big, especially with Xbox Game Pass. I mean, that's a big slap in the face right there.
It'll be interesting. It'll definitely change the dynamics of everything for sure if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't kind of see it going free. I mean, that's a good theory for it to go free, but I don't really see it going free. I mean, they have a really big library, so I mean, that would challenge like EA Access, which is only on Xbox and PC. So that would be a big, challenge as well. And then you're also challenging Xbox Live Game Pass as well, which is continuously adding games, also. So.
Which I like the Xbox Game Pass. It's actually pretty cool. I downloaded a couple games so far.
I've checked it out. The good thing about it is, especially if games at the time that you've never played, like there are some games on there I've never played that interest me, that like Mad Max, for example. I was always interested in that game, but I never had the time to pick it up. So, I mean, there are some games out there that I would consider myself, but the problem is I don't want to pay monthly for it, so that's where my problem encounters.
Yeah, no, I would say, like, if maybe, it could be also that PlayStation Now it's going to finally allow you to install the games inside your system, like
instead
Xbox.
of streaming it, exactly.
Because, overall, maybe what we were talking about, a standard person has about 50 megabytes down, or a little bit less than that. Like, like an average family has a 50 megabytes down. They wouldn't go above that. Even though the costs are getting smaller now for higher speeds, but people don't find the necessity of upgrading to crazy amount of speeds because they don't feel like they need it. So,
yeah, exactly.
But when it comes to this, you're streaming a full-blown game and you want to keep it perfect quality. How can you do that with, a 50 megabytes down? Maybe you can get a decent quality on it, but you won't get the full-blown as if it was installed, like a Blu-ray versus a streaming 1080p video. There is a difference in quality.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like you said, average people, mostly 50 over 50. You really see it go higher than that, but...
I think it's a little bit lower than that. A lot of people I talk to usually in the 30s, between 30s and 50s.
It's no, if you're thinking of like a family of four, I mostly speak like family of four. You're looking at 50 over 50 because you got to think maybe cell phones, maybe a computer here and there, mobile, any other mobile device like iPad, a Samsung tablet, any of those. But of course, like No Show spoke of, you want to have, if you're just streaming it, you want to have the best quality you can. I've seen people with like low quality and they stream the game, and it's just been a little bit of hiccups here and there. So, that's the PlayStation UI. So we're going to talk about a couple other things really quick. I just want to touch on one thing. We had two game releases. Lawbreakers is a review in progress right now, but if you guys don't mind, I'd like to do a quick non-spoiler review of Batman Telltale, Episode 1 of Season 2, The Enigma. Dan, No Show? You guys stay silent there for a second.
You can go ahead. Yeah, I haven't personally yet. I'm still going through Season 1. If you want to, get the crowd ready and tell them about it, I know
it's a non-spoiler review. So, picking off, it begins a year after Season 1, after the events of that one. Like I said, I'm not trying to touch on too many spoilers, so I'll give you spoiler-free. But it's a year after everything that happened in Season 1. If you play Season 1, you would know what happened. Riddler returns to Gotham City after being gone for an extensive amount of time. So he's returning. So he is the main antagonist in episode 1. They did tease. They are teasing other antagonists. I won't go into detail with that, but they are teasing some antagonists. Obviously, from the trailer, you know one of them is the Joker, but there also is another teaser of an antagonist. So, again, won't go into that. The gameplay is about the same as a Telltale game. You have your point and click, and you also have your quick time events. But there is one thing I disliked about it, and I understand this Batman is still fairly new, but you do got to solve some riddles, and I felt Batman was a little bit on the weak side of solving some of the riddles. I mean, it's more of your brain than Batman, but it kind of made you kind of feel Batman seemed kind of clueless when it came to certain riddles. But Edward Nygma was cool. The Riddler was definitely a good start as an antagonist. I felt he was could have been a little bit more aggressive than he was. I mean, he is smart as well, but he just felt a little. He didn't feel on the fighting side. He didn't feel too good when it went up against Batman. He didn't feel as psychotic or anything like that. There's a couple other parts that are cool as well when you encounter John Doe at a funeral, and also I will say as well, it doesn't matter how loyal or main of a character you are, there is a good chance you will die. That's how all the Telltale games have been. No character is safe. Maybe just Batman, but I will say no character is safe in this series, and it looks like from episodes to come. Definitely a good start to episode 1. I'm looking forward to episode 2. A couple new characters were introduced as well. Amanda Waller is in this, and they also brought in a different system, which I kind of hope. It looks like they carried over from The Walking Dead in the new season, Dan. I don't know if you remember, but besides your choices shaping a story, your choices also change your relationship with the characters.
Oh yeah, that's pretty, that's cool.
Yeah. So that they brought in from The Walking Dead. So it looks like that will go on from future games. It's a cool new system. So definitely happy they brought that in. Like I said, there's only a couple things I didn't like. I thought the Riddler could have been a little bit better. Batman, I felt should have been a little bit smarter when it came to certain riddles. But all in all, definitely a good start to episode 1. I will give it a solid 8.5. Definitely a good start. And I'm looking forward to episode 2 and beyond. Hopefully they could keep this pace up. It was very, I left you on edge. It was very good, and it was a lot of crazy moments, especially to kick off episode 1. Episode 1, normally there isn't lot doesn't happen, but this one was really good. A lot definitely happened. I'm just waiting for these two to catch up.
Yeah, I'll get it this weekend.
Yeah, just give me a feel. I'll catch up real quickly. I'm a little bit busy with Assassins, catching up with that myself.
Well, that's a review. My review, 8.5. Like I said, Lawbreakers is a review in progress. We'll be, we'll review that whenever we fully play the game and get all the gameplay and graphics and everything on top of that. Going back to Xbox, we're all insiders, except you guys are like the top tier insiders. Now, insiders is free for everyone. So No Show Barbosa, Headshot Dan, would you guys like to elaborate on the new format and how it works for the new insider program?
Yeah, definitely. So basically, it used to be set up in 4 rings. Back before it's been 4 rings. They just changed a couple of names and how it works. So we got. I'm gonna start from bottom. So it used to be ring 4. It became Omega. So basically, anybody now can join Omega. So that's where the bottom one. You get up to Dan. How many updates? Like 1 to 8, right? Updates
for ring 4, it's gonna be lower than that. So ring 4 it's going to be very, very low amount. It's probably going to be
you get like a minor amount of updates, and that's it. And then you go to the Delta one. Basically, you have to have tenure to go to Delta. You have to have a tenure of 1 or 2 months to actually reach and have insider level of 2. Basically, how to get insider level, there's an app, the Insider Hub app, that you get on the Xbox. And basically, you do surveys, quests, and rate the operating system. And you do it constantly. Me, Dan is way past me with his score. I'm very surprised. Me and him are literally, at least for my friend list, are way up there. Then it goes to with beta, or at least where Pat is right now, right, Pat? You're on beta right now?
Yeah, I'm on beta. Yeah, I'm beta.
Yeah, beta is basically they have 3 or more months, and their level is 4 higher for Insider Hub. That's where you get let me see, up to 8 to 15 updates. Yeah, and so you get a good amount of updates. So this update that me and Dan are at, probably Pat will get later on, maybe either next month or 2 or a month after.
I usually, when you guys update, I usually get them like 2 weeks after you guys get them. Like that's what, like, normally when you guys did an update before me, it's been like, I think 2 weeks, and then I get it. So it's not too far along, but it's right around that time frame.
Yeah, and then definitely now this is where me and Dan are. There's the Alpha Ring. Basically, this is a invite only for early access. Like, you get literally what's coming next. Like, we got the operating system because this is for people that give constant feedback. Your insider level is way above normal. They report problems if it happens. Like, for example, if my Xbox One crashes for random reasons, I'll send the report out and explain exactly what happened. It even takes a snapshot out of it. This is for guys that are constantly giving feedback and over again, and then you get the invite. To be honest, I don't even remember when I joined Alpha. It's been such a long time. But I just go to the app. You know, if you really want to get to the Alpha point, you have to constantly give feedback.
I joined 3 years, 5 months ago.
Yeah, what happened?
I joined 3 years, 5 months ago.
3 years and 5 months ago, but that's the total years, right? For the
yeah, it's total years.
Yeah. So like we're saying, right? Like you have to do all the feedback constantly. Like, you can't stop. Like, I check every time I go on my Xbox One. I'm like, bam! That's the first thing I check. Is there anything I can do? Try it out, new features. Because if you have your Xbox One on standby, it will update by itself if you set it up like that. And sometimes you don't even know that it's updated with minor upgrades and changes. And also, you can now get access to new apps and new games actually too. Like, for example, part of the Insiders Sea of Thieves. They're gonna expand that more. It's just this is literally just the beginning. So if you're joining, I'll say give the feedback.
Yeah, definitely was worth it. Before I got it, you were the one that you invited me, and I got in. But yeah, it's definitely been worth it. Like Barbosa was explaining, Dan also helped me out getting the Sea of Thieves beta. So I've played a couple, the alpha or the whatever the beta is, which was pretty fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to Sea of Thieves. A couple other perks too, like you get the new dashboard. You can check it out before anyone else. I had we had party overlay than other people. So it's cool to check out the features before everyone else gets a hold of them. Continuing with Xbox, now that Xbox One X got approved finally where they could take pre-orders, the question is when will we be able to take pre-orders? So I mean, I would think very soon. I know Phil Spencer confirmed it, but I would think very soon. I mean, the system's coming out in November. You would think that probably September, maybe? What do you guys think?
I'll probably say the end of August. Last week, August, they'll do it.
Is it GDC that's happening, or what's the conference that's happening in August 22nd?
I think it's just
Gamescom?
Gamescom.
The name of it?
Gamescom?
Yeah, it should be Gamescom. Gamescom is August.
Gamescom, thank you so much. I had a mental blank. I'm sorry, guys. It's definitely the lack of caffeine right now. But, yeah, so basically Gamescom is happening. They already said that they're going to have a big presence there, Microsoft. So I would suspect we're going to get an announcement there. We're going to get the pre-order availability from there. They're going to be like, this is when it's going to start. Phil Spencer said he was the one that announced the approvals went through. He's like, I know people are eager to pre-order it, but what I need to first actually, like, they're going to set up an event for it for what it seems like. So I don't, it might be interesting how they're going to approach it. What do you think, Dan?
Well, Gamescom is September?
Hello?
August.
Oh, so like I said, I think they'll do the pre-order at the end of the month. I mean, I know I'm eager. I wanted to pre-order it the day after it was announced, but I guess the only thing we could do is wait. I mean, I'm definitely getting it. I'm definitely pre-ordering it right when they say pre-orders available.
Yeah.
So,
You guys know I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait till they get more games, more exclusives. I didn't like the launch lineup, especially it's just Crackdown pretty much. Everything else is just upgraded, like Gears of War, Halo is just a upgrade. So I'd rather just wait till we get more exclusives. Maybe the next Halo, definitely that'll be my system buy.
yeah,
But I think I think Gamescom, that's when they'll announce the pre-orders. I mean, at least I hope so. I wonder what else Microsoft will do, but we'll save that for another day. But definitely I know you guys are excited for it. But like I said, it'll wait a little bit. But hopefully they'll finally, huh?
New hardware, man, cannot be. I love new hardware. I see new hardware, I'm like a kid in Christmas.
Well, I got the Xbox One S, so I mean, I literally just got that last year, so I'll hold off a little bit.
Oh, so check this out, guys. So I'm actually right now on the Xbox.com website. They actually have tune in for on Sunday, August 20th. 9 o'clock, I think, Central Time, or 12 p.m. of PDT, to a special Xbox Live event. So Sunday, the 20th, guys, we might actually news and announcements on Xbox One X. Here we go. We already have our answer.
all right, get ready to go run that store.
Yeah, exactly. Run whatever retailer you shop at and pre-order it.
I'll be
So
running to that GameStop right on the block.
I will be staying home while you guys tell me you
There you
pre-ordered
go,
it.
Dan. If you want to show the crowd the website, I was like, you know what? Let me take a look at it, and it's there. It's exciting.
All right. All right. So now that we got that beautiful news, I think it's time we jump into something else, huh? Rage Quit.
Well, absolutely. So I see on here that there's a new trailer that dropped for a game that I'm excited about. I played the first one. I think I don't know if you guys played the first one. Evil Within dropped a new trailer, so let's check it out. I haven't seen it before yet, so this will be a nice little trailer and reaction. So let's take a look.
What are you thinking about?
Lily. Everything that's happening in here is because
The first one was awesome, so I mean I'm looking forward to the second one. I mean I love a good survival horror game,
Show's
so
supposed to be
definitely.
gruesome, so
I mean, like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to you. Here we go.
Lily, where are you? I'm here. Dad's here.
You aren't here for me, Dad. It's all your fault. You are a failure. Close your eyes to the truth.
Can you guys hear me? Just make sure it text.
to stop me, but you have
Oh, I
failed.
can't hear you guys. I think.
I've got to find
Can
him
you say
before he
something?
does something terrible to me.
Oh, scared me a little. It's a big improvement in graphics, let me tell you.
and this trailer is on a different level.
Hey Dan, you know what you should do for the crowd? You should put the link for it in case they want to see it again. It looks really cool. I definitely.
Yeah, it does look pretty fucking awesome. Rage quit. Come on, man. You play this game. What's going through your head?
Yeah, that was really sick. I mean, the new monsters, whatever the hell they are, they look fantastic. It looks like the graphics definitely looks like they got a good improvement as well. The first one creeped the hell out of me. I love a good true survival horror game where I gotta conserve my ammo, and I gotta look around every corner. That game reminded me a lot of Resident Evil 4. And I know the guy who made Evil Within was the original maker of Resident Evil, so that trailer was crazy, and looks like I'm gonna be doing a lot of running because in Evil Within 1 there were some monsters where you just couldn't fight them. You had to run away, and in survival horror there's really nothing wrong with that, especially if you don't have a lot of ammo. But
yeah, definitely.
that trailer looked good. I'm definitely when they originally showed it at E3. I was somewhat sold, but because you didn't see too much gameplay. Now that we saw an actual gameplay trailer, it does look really good, and I'm definitely excited for it. And that is that's gonna be my October game. That I actually might even pre-order it now, because at first I didn't, because like I said, there was no gameplay trailer. But after that trailer, yeah, and it definitely looks creepy as hell.
It looks interesting, but you know what? You definitely see the difference, because before Evil Within was made for like the 360 and the PS3 at the time. Remember, guys?
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of put them back versus moving them forward. And now, PS4, Xbox One, and of course they're compatible with the Pro and the Xbox One X. But we're definitely going to see that jump in graphics and that smoothness that a lot of people complain about, that the game kind of like the frame rate and everything kind of like glitched a little bit.
That was the big problem in the first one. They had a lot of frame rate issues, but this one, hopefully it shouldn't have that problem. I mean, if you love a game like, old school Resident Evil, it also has that Silent Hill feel. It's a really good game. It's very underrated. It was a surprise, actually, because not a lot of people were expecting it to be as good as I felt it was. So I'm definitely looking forward to part 2, and I'm definitely gonna probably most likely pre-order it now, even though October's stacked, and this is another game in October that's coming out. So October's looking really good. I'm excited. Evil Within 2.
So what's the date, guys? So we tell the viewers or listeners right now.
I believe it's Halloween. I think from what I remember,
it's Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Wow, even better.
It's Friday the 13th. Can't go wrong with that, right?
No, even better. So now after Dan showed us that, so Barbosa, you brought up an interesting point earlier, a couple different things from PlayStation. You wanted to talk about Hellblade, and also the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC got announced. The release date got announced.
So I'm sure people are seeing Hellblade is made by Ninja Theory. They had a couple fallings back and forth in their titles. This is like their newest title. Like, it looks beautiful. Basically states a story that a warrior, she lost her husband, and then she's going through, her mind. It's all the enemies in it's her mind. Spoiler, like, that's a little spoiler, I would say. And it's basically she's fighting them. But the interesting part of this game is actually kind of a little bit cruel. So if you die several times in the game, you will lose your save file. It will delete it for you. Like, it's not you permadeath for it. Well, technically it's a permadeath in a way. Basically, if you die several times, your save file is gone and you start from the beginning. What do you guys think about that?
That would piss me off, man.
Could it not be like any more like the developers aren't like, Jesus, man, like that's such a dick move, but you know what? These kids nowadays, they deserve a game like this because they're lucky. No, I mean they deserve a game like this because they never went what we all went through with 3 lives, no checkpoints, none of that garbage. So they do deserve a game like this, but that is a little cruel. That's really cruel.
We had our punishment. Now it's time for them to suffer it.
Yeah, but that's really, really cruel. Pando, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, Pando is back. What's going on, man?
But that is really cruel. That if you die a certain amount of times, they just delete your save file. Like, damn. Like, that's...
I mean, the game looks beautiful. It got a lot of high reviews. Like you got 9s, 9s to and 8s below. Like sometimes I think I saw maybe a 7 or once, but it's really highly revealed. But I was just shocked when I heard that. I was like, wow, that's the first. And the people are outraged, man. Like people are playing, they're getting permadeath, and they're like, they got to start from the beginning.
Yeah, it probably also has a high fucking trade-in value too, huh? Everyone's
We're
probably
doing good,
trading that in.
Pando. Just had dinner, and I'm on the podcast now, so I'm doing good, Pando. Thank you
GameStop
for asking.
probably has those games stacked up from all the returns.
Well, the game is digital, Dan.
Oh, it's digital only? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so they can't do anything, so they're screwed either way.
Yeah, right.
And then the U.S. said the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC has a release date finally. Barbosa.
Oh yeah, sorry, but my apologies. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, Frozen Wilds does have a release date. It's November 7th. I was really actually surprised that it's that late. I thought it was going to be a little bit earlier for some reason. If people play Horizon Zero Dawn this year, it's probably one of the best games that came out this year. High quality. It's the flagship game for the PlayStation 4 Pro. For whoever has it, I haven't heard anything different from that. It's fantastic. I think Zelda and that game are like the top nominees right now. So it adds more to the story. I don't know where it sets. It's a little bit after, I figure, but we don't know the time period. It's a completely whole new area, but they are being very close about what the story is about. You just know you're in a new area. It seems like there's lakes, little warm lakes and everything, and it's full ice. So it should be interesting where it's going to go from there. What do you think, Pat?
So I still got to play it. I'm definitely going to get it soon because I've heard a lot of great things about Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. The DLC looks very interesting. The new area looks pretty cool. I don't know if I saw correctly, but was there like snow or anything like that? Winterish kind of.
It's from I think the trip is the tribe that they're focusing on. I think it's the. Let's see. I'll find out right now. Basically, it's basically the tribe. So they leave.
My
My mic is not working.
No.
It was like staticking. It's like staticking.
Is it better now or no? Give me one.
Some more difficulties like No Show Barbosa.
Next week it's gonna be you.
Hello, Eduardo.
All right.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Sorry, guys. So basically, it's set in the colder weather. Definitely, there is a few areas on the original. I don't want to spoil it for the guys here, especially for Pat. There's some cold areas already in Horizon Zero Dawn. It had multiple type of temperatures and fauna, but it's definitely it looks cool like where it's set. It's definitely like different. So I think I'm just trying to find out the name of the actual tribes because it's kind of driving me crazy that I forgot that. But yeah, I definitely look excited. They didn't show gameplay that much. It was basically the same trailer talking about her going to a mountain in that area and trying to figure out why there's a storm. For people that haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn and they have a PlayStation 4, it is a must. I am telling you guys, you're missing out if you're not playing it yet. It's a great game. It has an interesting story. The way it got set up after you find out really what's happening, it's actually really interesting, like in terms of how it panned out to be.
We started back last week, Eddie.
Oh, the Banuk. Banuk, I think it's called. I'm losing it today. Sorry,
All
guys.
right.
Yeah, Banuk. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So now we're gonna move on a little bit here. Thank you for that, No Show Barbosa. So we're just about to end quarter 3. Quarter 4 is going to begin in September. So we're going to run down a little bit what we thought of 2017 so far, what our biggest disappointments have been, what our biggest surprises have been, and what is our game of the year so far. So, I'm going to run down a couple games from January on. I'm going to name the big titles that were, not too much of the smaller titles. So, I'm going to begin in January. January we had, of course, Resident Evil 7.
What games you got, Pando?
We had, it was more of a DLC game, but people were looking forward to it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle. And then, of course, we had Yakuza 0. So that was about in January that kicked it off. And then we move on to February, which, no show spoke about before, which was Horizon Zero Dawn. Ubisoft jumped in with For Honor, Halo Wars 2. So February had some, and also that samurai game. How do you pronounce it?
Neo.
Neo. That was
Okay.
that was like an under the radar type game,
Definitely.
right there. So that was another one in February. So now we go on to March. March, of course, was a couple of things. We had new hardware. We had the Nintendo Switch. We had some new games. So we had Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We had 1-2 Switch, Super Bomberman, Just Dance, which was the Nintendo Switch launches, and so forth. And, of course, the Switch also launched in March. As I mentioned, new hardware. We had Ghost Recon Wildlands in March, which was a big title. For Ubisoft, they came off back-to-back months with big titles. We, of course, had Mass Effect Andromeda, BioWare returning with the Mass Effect series. For 3DS, Mario Sports came out. MLB The Show is always a big sports title for baseball in March. So that one's there. Now we move on to April. So, as I'm looking back, are you guys surprised I'm naming all these games? Because I completely forgot this many games have come out so far, to be honest. It felt kind of light, and now that I'm naming all the titles, I'm like, wow, this is a lot.
It's been it's been a good amount of games. I agree with you 100%. It was actually, like you said, me and you. I remember we were just discussing not too long ago. Oh, it felt kind of dry, but it was only literally the summer season because the first 2 quarters in terms of every 3 months we had plenty of games to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we move on to April, which that's when it started to slow down a little bit. But they had a re-release of Bulletstorm, which was a fun game. We had Guardians of the Galaxy, which Telltale kicked off episode 1, so that was for them as well. Outlast 2 came out. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. We had Mario Kart 8, big title for the Switch. And now we move on to May. Prey, which was a remake of Prey that came out in the 360. Injustice 2. Fire Emblem for the 3DS came out. Friday the 13th. We all know about that launch, but we'll talk about that. Don't worry. I'm just naming the titles for now, but we'll talk about that great launch of Friday the 13th. And you had Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Switch. And then we move on to June. Tekken 7. Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 2. And this is when it started to slow down. ARMS. Barbosa, I know you were high on that title.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy. Now we move on to July really fast. July was, where are we here? Oh, well, July's big. But these are a lot of small titles. There was a Splatoon 2 was July. That's the only kind of big title I see. There's a lot of small titles in July, excuse me. But Splatoon 2 was the big one. And, of course, and then Hey Pikmin for the 3DS. Also, we had new hardware in July, which was the new 2DS XL, which I am definitely going to pick up. I like that. That's a good new hardware. And then, of course, as of right now, August, the only games that have launched right now in August has been Lawbreakers, Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, and the Batman Telltale Series Episode 1. There's still some more games in there. So out of most of those games, let's begin what you guys think was, let's start on a good note, surprising, and also lived up to your expectations. So let's begin. What, out of the games that you played so far in 2017, which one was surprising to you guys? I'll start with you, Headshot Dan.
Well, it's kind of hard because I haven't really bought so many games this year. I mean, because there has been a lot of games that came out, but there hasn't been a lot of games that were appealing to us. I still play the same old games: Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six, and Rainbow Six. Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy was the one game I did pick up. That was actually really good. Hey, what else did I pick up? I can't remember what games I picked up.
You tell me.
Friday 13th. I picked up Friday 13th. And honestly, really, I think that's it. I think I might have bought a couple indie games, but nothing big or major like that. I mean, I haven't really bought much this year.
No, sure. What about you? What was something that you purchased? Yeah, well, yeah, any of the games you played so far this year, which one was like kind of low on your expectations and surprised you?
What expectations? I would say Friday the 13th. I mean, that was good, but like, I mean, the server issues are still fixed, as many of us agree. Surprising? Not really. I mean, did I expect the games to be great? Yet, for example, I didn't know how Zelda was going to be in terms of how good it was going to be, but like it blew my expectations how like the open world worked for it. Other than that, to be honest, Horizon Zero Dawn is another title, but like I had a feeling it was going to be good. I just didn't know how good it was. But most titles were within my expectations. It was never always like, oh, you know, I'm not too sure about this game yet.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm gonna say right off the bat, I mean, Resident Evil was the game that pretty much surprised me out of everything. They changed the view, so they got rid of the over-the-shoulder third-person view. You went completely first-person. You didn't know much about the game. They barely released anything. You got a couple of those trailers with the tapes and everything like that, but they barely showed you anything. You didn't really know much about Ethan. They didn't really mention if it was going to be a continuation after 6, which they eventually did. But, I mean, it blew my expectations. I was really nervous. I thought they were going to go into the Outlast route. Am I lagging?
No.
No,
Okay, cool. I thought I was lagging. Sorry. Resident Evil blew me away. It reminded me of the old school games, and it felt fresh. I love how they paid homage to the old games as well with a lot of Easter eggs. And that's definitely one of the games that, well, I'll talk to you about that in a second, Pando. The first-person view, like I said, I was a little nervous with, but it brought more tension. Like, I felt more scared because I didn't know what was behind me. Like, if I heard a noise, like, it brought that extra tension, and I'm happy they went back to survival horror where I had to conserve my ammo. I had the lock boxes again where I could move some stuff around. I had to manage my inventory. It was great. I felt Ethan, compared to the other characters, Chris Redfield, Leon, he doesn't match up, but it still was a great story to me. I was deep into the story. I wanted to know what the hell's happening with this family. Why are they going crazy? What are they? Are they zombies? Like, what is happening? I know the lack of enemies pissed people off, but it didn't piss me off. The enemies, there was a lot of jump scares in that game, but Resident Evil 7 definitely for me was the game that surprised me this year. And to answer you, to say, Pando, not at that time. In 1997 or 96, I believe, when the first Resident Evil came out, first-person shooters or first-person view in general was not big yet. It was a different time. So that's why I don't think at that point in time it would have worked if they put Resident Evil first-person right away. It just wasn't working. It wouldn't have worked at that time. It was a different time period, but now it could work.
Here, I got a funny Resident Evil clip from when I was streaming. Okay, this is.
Oh, and you got scared?
Yeah.
But that's definitely been my surprise. Other surprises, I would say.
Okay, this is.
Man, Ghost Recon kind of caught me a little bit by surprise. It was really good. I enjoyed that.
Have to go upstairs and start it.
Oh boy.
Oh
It's
shit!
like you said, right? Like within expectation.
It was, why? Because when they showed Resident Evil at E3, exactly what they can see and everything. But like I said, who knows? Maybe they'll continue this view going forward. It worked out for Resident Evil 7, definitely. So it had a lot of gruesome moments, especially that scene that the Headshot Dan's almost at, where you get your freaking hand cut off. That was a crazy. That was ridiculous. So who knows going forward? if they keep it in a first-person view. I mean, there's still the long rumor that Resident Evil 2 remake is supposed to come out, so who knows when that'll be. But
Especially with Gamescom, you never know. A lot of announcements are coming from there now.
yeah, I hope so. Capcom's been really quiet. The problem is we were supposed to get the Chris Redfield DLC for Resident Evil 7. We still haven't gotten it. Who knows? I have no idea what Capcom's doing with that.
How's that noise?
What is that? What is fire? And is everything okay? I just heard like screaming and everything. Something.
Weird.
Another game that caught me by surprise too. You know, like you mentioned before, Dan, Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy, that came out of the blue. I know the Telltale's jumping on a lot more series, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm just waiting for episode 3. But I'm enjoying Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy. That kind of caught me by surprise too. It's definitely a lot of fun. I like the characters. Yeah, it's a great story so far. Definitely. But that would be it for me. It's something that would catch me by surprise. Now, let's move on to the unfortunate, the negatives. What is a game that you guys have picked up that you were, slightly have been disappointed in?
Can we say South Park because it was delayed 2 times?
Well, we haven't played it yet.
That's my disappointment. I already hate the game.
We can't really say too much. Well, it got the other one got pushed back a little bit too.
It got pushed back 2 times. Man, this one got 2 times already. I would say, this game I'm about to mention is a lot. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, but it has a lot of server problems. Friday the 13th is a fun game, but I got sick and tired of getting kicked constantly.
It was bad.
Every time I was Jason, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" 2 minutes later, that's it. You're done. You're gone. You can't even play Jason for another 10 rounds because you're playing goddamn randoms. And it's such a fun game, but such a very big disappointment. Even the driving mechanics are still horrible in the game. Unless if they changed, I haven't played in a while. So unless if they changed the driving mechanics, even that was horrible. But I guess that was probably one of my biggest disappointments. Right now.
You know what it was? I agree with you too. It was very disappointing. Especially, I really honestly thought that they should have put out a beta for console, not just PC. I think that was the biggest problem because I know it was. Huh?
No, it's not gonna Panda. Continue.
Yeah, I understand this was just a small indie company and it was a Kickstarter nonetheless, and I understand that. I get that, but how do you not expect a game like Friday the 13th to have such a big following? I mean, we're talking about Friday the 13th. We're talking about Jason, one of the greatest slashers of all time, and you don't expect it to be a big hit. I mean, come on now. So,
What the hell is that? Is that you, Barbosa?
What is going on? So, when the game launched,
Having some technical
Your
difficulties.
headset is not on. It's
I
going
don't
to your
know.
computer.
Yeah, someone's going through your computer. But right when the game launched, man, I couldn't even get into one game, and if I did, I was kicked out in 2 seconds.
Does Quick Play even work yet? Does Quick Play work?
It did, but it does, but it puts you in a game with 2 people, so it's not that good. Quick Play, I still do private matches, and I mean basically, it just it's a fun game now that it works, but the fact of the matter is we had to wait over a month for it to finally work.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And they gave you a skin to try to make off for, but I hate that fucking skin. I hate it.
They gave you a skin. They gave you double XP. They gave you.
They gave us a lot of points. Whatever.
They gave you a lot of points. I mean that was good, but the fact of the matter is, like I said, I understand it was a small indie developer, it was a Kickstarter, but they should have put out a beta on console just to see how the servers would work. They didn't, and it bit them in the ass bad. Barbosa, I know you felt the same way. What would you say would be disappointing? I have a couple more, but I want you to jump in.
I would say I'll go with you with Friday the 13th. I was excited to play it. I got it with you guys, but I don't know how many times you're winning and you're getting that experience, and then
you get kicked.
You're kicked, and you lose all your experience. How are you supposed to deal with that? Every single time you get the experience to level up to unlock new characters, unlock new perks, you're losing all that experience. So do you really want to play a game like that? And then also, you paid for it. It's not like you didn't pay for it. So it comes back to that too. Like, you pay a certain amount for the game. It was $40. Hence, it was not a $60 game, but still, that was $40 that you paid for a game, and at least you expect a decent, stable game.
Yeah, it was completely broken. A couple more I'm gonna throw at, and then you guys let me know. I kind of was a little disappointed in Ghost Recon. Not in the way of a gameplay wise. I just felt it was really repetitive.
Oh, yeah, definitely repetitive.
And that was the biggest problem in that game for me. I mean, the open world was fun, especially when you were playing amongst friends. That's what I found a lot of fun with the game. But when you were playing with the computer, it was like a basic, third-person shooter. But when you were playing with friends, it felt like, GTA, like, in the army and stuff like that. But it was just really repetitive. You're doing the same missions, and the same side missions. And the open world kind of felt dead, in a way. That's where I was like a little disappointed, especially coming off, the other Ghost Recon games, which were fun. But how did you guys feel about Ghost Recon? I know you all have played it, but how would you have felt? How did you feel?
I definitely agree. Definitely very repetitive, but it was a lot of fun though. The story was pretty good. It was just it's like you're going to the same kind of missions over and over. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's like the same thing. You gotta take this guy out. It's all very repetitive. I didn't like it. The airplane mechanics. I meant the helicopter mechanics kind of sucked.
The driving mechanics too were shot. I mean, when you were playing it with the computer, all those missions felt more as a chore. Like, it just felt tedious, and it was more of a chore. But when you were playing with friends, it was fun. But when I found myself playing with with the computer, with my AI companions, it just felt like this is a chore. Like, this is such a chore.
Like, are retards for the most
part. Unless you leveled them up. But again, it feels boring. But when I played with friends, it was a lot of fun going through missions. But I was disappointed in that. Barbosa, how did you feel about Ghost Recon?
I feel like the same way. It's like it wasn't enticing to come back. Like, how long we played for? Maybe a month, I think.
I finished it, but I finished it with the AI. But it was.
Well, how long it took you to keep coming back to it?
I went back to it because I just wanted to get it out. I just wanted to beat it, and I didn't have much left. But when I found myself playing with the AI, I just felt bored. Like, it was just doing the same missions over and over and over again. It just felt boring.
That's what it was a cool game. Don't get me wrong. The concept is right, and again, but it's not something you can keep coming back. And I'm sure there's people that disagree with us 100%. But it was just it was something missing. It's an open world game, but like you guys said, it's not as lively as you thought. It was repetitive. It was the way that it was set out. It wasn't completely different.
I wanted it to be a step up from the Division, as we were really disappointed in the Division, and then they showed Ghost Recon, and I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is what Ubisoft should be doing. But then we get Ghost Recon, and I don't want to say it's on the level of disappointment as a Division. Division was really disappointing. That's sure enough because of the Dark Zone. That's why it was highly disappointing. But I felt Ghost Recon should have been the step up. It should have exceeded, the expectations. But, when I played it and I got through the first couple of missions, I'm like, wow, I'm doing the same damn thing I've been doing for the past 2 hours now.
Yeah. Well, the PvP is coming. The 4v4 is coming. Will we be willing to jump back into Ghost Recon to do some PvP 4v4s?
It depends if it's not broken. I mean, hopefully the PvP works out well, but it just depends if it's, hopefully it's not broken or anything like that.
It's supposed to be a beta this year, from what I understand, but I guess we'll find out. I'll definitely be interested in trying out that PvP.
I would say my final disappointing game, and it's hard for me to say, but I'm going to have to say Mass Effect. I mean, as far as when I say it's disappointing, I'm not going to say storyline or gameplay-wise, because they were both great to me. And you agree with me too, Barbosa, on this. They got rid of the Paragon and Renegade system.
Yeah.
It went into more of the direction of Dragon Age, where yes, I made choices, but my choices didn't seem like it really impacted my character, and it didn't impact my companions. It didn't really impact anything. Like, it just didn't. Like, the story was great. I enjoyed the story. The gameplay was fantastic, but getting rid of Paragon and Renegade killed me because it didn't feel like I shaped anything. Like, my character didn't feel like an asshole. My character didn't feel like he was a good guy if I did something good. Like, and then my companions just agreed with everything they kind of seemed like, oh, okay, you did this, all right, whatever. When, like, in the past games, if I did something wrong, they'd be, like, if they didn't like, they'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I was like, they went the Dragon Age route. I think that was disappointing to me. How did you? And then also with the graphical glitches, with the facial, the graphical glitches were a mess. And now because of that, who knows when we're going to see the next Mass Effect? No show. I know you touched on it. You played the game. Is that kind of like, I know your expectations were high on Mass Effect. How did you feel? How
it was like gameplay completely, like, it changed a lot compared, like, to what it was with the booster and everything. And I was like, coming from Mass Effect 3 and 2, you're like, you have your ways. So, of course, as everybody agree, Mass Effect 3 wasn't the greatest Mass Effect out there, probably the worst. But the whole point is, like, there was a way with the Paragon, and it changed completely. Like, you went, like, you didn't know if you're making a good choice or a bad choice. It's kind of like a gray area.
It was terrible.
Like, how are you supposed to do? What if you want to be bad? You don't know you're being bad because you don't know if you're, it was red or blue or anything like that. It was completely, like, gray, like you didn't know. I thought that kind of distanced me for the game. The gameplay was cool. The exploring part was like pretty good, but it was just like, it wasn't what Mass Effect is. You had to come in there. You're like, okay, this is not exactly the Mass Effect I want, but I'm still got to play it. That's how I went. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I can see many Mass Effect fans going against it.
Yeah, and it did. I mean, as I mentioned before, now BioWare is moved on. I mean, it looks like, do you think they're putting more of their effort into Anthem than what they did with Mass Effect? Do you think that was the problem?
I'm not sure, maybe, to be honest. Anthem looks like it's really high, top-notch quality. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's their baby now.
Which is disappointing, because Mass Effect was such a great series, and for them to now put it off, it's very highly disappointing. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, but it looks like they kind of put this in the back seat, and they're more focused on Anthem. That's my disappointment. But now let's talk about games that are game of the year. Let's talk about all the good games we played that we weren't disappointed in. I'll start. All the good games so far that I've played that were above my expectations, or they were right there, of course, was Injustice. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I loved Injustice 1. Injustice 2 was a fantastic game. But to backtrack a little bit to March, how have you guys felt so far about the Nintendo Switch launch now that we're a couple months into the launch, now that we got more games? It looks like more DLC indie titles are starting to come out for the system. How have you guys felt, especially with the games, Mario Kart, Splatoon, Legends of Zelda? How have you guys felt of the progression of the Switch so far?
It's pretty good, to be honest. I think, it's not a lot of games, granted, but I definitely think it's great. Like, it's selling like crazy. There's a high demand for it. Back before, when we talked, it was like, hey, I don't know if Nintendo's gonna make it, man. Like, I think we're past that. I think Nintendo's solid right now, and I think this is literally just the beginning. This year is like a stepping stone. Do they need a better operating system on the Switch? Yes. Do they need more game? Yes. But the indie games are coming out, a lot of them, and like the first party is picking up. So I'm not worried, man. I think Nintendo's gonna do great, and all the upcoming games too.
Dan, how do you feel about the Switch so far at the launch?
Well, like No Show said, it definitely lacks in games. Well, that's one thing. I thought they would have changed, moved out of the friend code thing, and started going more modern with it, like some usernames or something more simple than friend codes. So that's one thing I could see them, hopefully changing later on, because that friend code shit, I hate it. Like, that's so annoying to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought they were going modern too. I don't know why the hell they continue that.
There is a lot more indies than actual like big name games right now, which I guess isn't too bad. At least there's some sort of content that you are able to use. But I mean, I love the Switch right now, and I'm still looking forward to seeing how the Switch is going to progress later on and what kind of games we're going to see. Because I know there's going to be a lot of big major games coming out for it, so I'm pretty excited to see where it goes.
Well, we got Mario this year,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know everyone's looking forward to that. Mario Kart definitely was awesome. I love the new Mario Kart, even though it was it's pretty much Mario Kart in the Wii U, but still,
Why do you want us to
I
say
didn't
that?
play it on
I
the
mean,
Wii U.
there's no way I can even pronounce whatever you just said, and I don't think I am going to.
I would
Hey, I don't know what
recommend it. So
Oh,
I'm finding the translation is not a very nice thing.
okay. So, I what is that? I figured it was a Portuguese. What is that?
No,
it's not Portuguese.
I think that's definitely not Portuguese. I think that's Polish. I'm not sure actually, but it seems like
Yeah,
that's.
it is Polish. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
It sounds very nice. But
Albanian maybe.
Interesting. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll leave it at.
I mean,
that,
Yeah.
right?
Who cares?
yeah, I'll leave it at that. But to continue with everything that's come out so far, Injustice 2 has been, that's been right where I figured it'd be a really good, solid fighting game. Horizon Zero Dawn, I know Barbosa enjoyed. I definitely want to pick it up. The reviews have been in the 9s and 9.5, so I'm sure that was not a surprise to anybody. Couple other titles. I'm missing a couple, aren't I? MLB The Show has always been up there as the dominant baseball game. That's why 2K has definitely been out of the picture for several years. So I'm not surprised that MLB The Show continued their dominance. I know Tekken 7, a lot of people have enjoyed as well. That's gotten some good reviews. Crash Bandicoot has seen some has gotten good reviews, but it's also frustrating at the same time because they made the game 10 times harder than what it was on the original PlayStation. So that caught me by surprise. It's still a fun game though, even though I continuously die a majority of the time. But yeah, so if you guys had to pick, what's your game of the year so far?
Go ahead, Dan.
That's a hard man. It's a hard pick. I don't feel like I have one right now. I mean, like I said, I haven't really bought so many games. Telltale was great. Dead by Daylight's fun. Frontier is really good. But I don't think I have a rock solid game of the year right now. I mean, I feel like it might be a little later, maybe Battlefront when that comes out. But I can't really answer that question the way I want to at this point.
No show. What would you say is your game of the year so far?
I'm split between Horizon and Zelda. I mean, I'll go Zelda because it's natural fan for it. I'm definitely split between those two right now. I think they're the biggest hitters. Even though Neo was really good too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it pops up as a nominee in other places and everything because it's such an underdog game.
I'm sure mine's gonna change. Definitely with all the other games coming out, I'm sure it'll definitely change. But as of right now, my game of the year stands at Resident Evil 7 as of right now. I've been such a huge fan since it launched, and it was such a surprising game. Even though it was short, and the main character was so-so. But as I said, it's going to change. But as of right now, that's my game of the year. But it'll definitely change with all the other titles coming out, like Assassin's Creed, South Park, Crackdown, a whole bunch of different titles coming. Yeah, Call of Duty. There's a bunch of different games coming out, but as of right now, that's where my game of the year stands. Definitely. Injustice also. I mean, Injustice was really good too. But that's a fighting game. I can't put that as game of the year. I mean, Injustice was a lot of fun, but unfortunately, I put that as my game of the year. As much as I would like to, but it's a fighting game. I can't really do that. So as we look to, like I said, as this quarter 3 is going to end, what are you guys looking forward to for quarter 4? As quarter 4 is going to be starting in September, what's the most anticipated game for you guys this holiday?
Definitely South Park, definitely Battlefront, and I'm really excited to see the new Call of Duty, just because it's boots to ground again. No more exos, no more double jump crap. So I'm really excited to play Call of Duty at its old times, boots to grounds, and I guess those are those 3 big games I can think of right now. Then I'm excited for Shadow of War. I can't forget about that. So
Shadow War.
You know what? Quarter 4 is goddamn jam packed with such great games. I don't even know how I'm going to survive with work and all this gaming.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. I would say my most anticipated game is South Park. I've been looking forward to play the new South Park. Definitely Shadow of War is another one. And Super Mario Odyssey is definitely something I'm really looking forward to. And something that's like kind of under my radar is Battlefront 2. I'm not 100% sure if I'm picking that game up yet after the debacle of Part 1. So
Not sold on it
I don't
yet.
know. I'm not sold on it yet. Same thing with Destiny 2. I'm not sold on either or
How did I
yet,
forget
to be
Destiny?
honest.
Oh, did you
Not
know
sold on.
you can actually buy Destiny candles now, scented candles, and it smells like each of the Earth, each of the planets. No, I can
That's
see it.
interesting.
Yeah, I can see
That's
Alex
very
buying
interesting.
that.
And Evil Within 2, now I'm looking forward to after that trailer dropped. One game I was looking forward to, but I don't know anymore, is Marvel vs. Capcom, due to the roster being really, really weak. I was huge on the X-Men characters. They're completely gone, so I was looking forward to it. I don't know. No show. What about you? What are you mostly really looking forward to this holiday?
Sorry. There you go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we hear you.
Said phones is giving me problems. Okay, so games that I'm waiting for. Started with the biggest one for me, Shadow of War. I'm a little skeptical. There's a loot system now involved in it, a ranked system for online stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The story seems great. I'm actually excited for it. Shadow of War is definitely the top title I want right now. Super Mario Odyssey, Pat, definitely that's 100%. I definitely want to play that. Probably the game I'm gonna play a lot and I'm excited for is Destiny 2. It's almost there. I play a lot of Destiny 1 back before. I had a couple of times I stopped in between. Like I got back to it and I was like, I gotta get Destiny 2. I played the beta. It's a solid game.
Nice candles.
Yeah, I started
Yeah.
walking away when the light system came in. I wasn't a big fan of the light system.
Yeah, I know, but you know what, Dan? I don't know if you played the beta, but like they they made it solid. Like it's smooth. It's like a more refined Destiny. That's how I feel
Yeah,
about
I
it.
downloaded it. I never got a chance to play it.
I'm telling you that you missed out. I mean, the PC one, I think it's still gonna happen. You might hop in that. I will highly recommend doing that. But yeah, I'm sold on it. I think I'm gonna be playing that the most. Super Mario Odyssey. For some people, they don't know the second DLC for Zelda's coming out this fall. It's actually a story part. Actually, first time ever a story DLC for Zelda, the Champion's Ballad. Excited for that. Definitely gonna get that. Once that comes out, it's like first priority there. I'm gonna play that. Evil Within is on my radar. Definitely. Wolfenstein, Colossus definitely on my radar. Looks good. But predominantly, and maybe even Pokemon. I'm not too sure about Ultra Moon and Sun. I don't know if it's gonna be like Pokemon Y2 or Pokemon Black 2, but that's on my radar too. And I can't forget last one, I swear. Metroid. Metroid: Samus Returns. It looks so good.
Got the one on 3DS?
Yes, I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. The gameplay looks smooth. It's a remake of Metroid 2. I'm pretty sure that's it. If somebody can correct me on that. but it looks great. I'm excited. That's definitely, you get a Metroid taste because Metroid Prime 4 got announced, so it goes from there. But those are some of the titles I'm looking for this, definitely for this fall.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup right there.
So, I mean, as much as we said last week that fall doesn't look that great, now that we're talking about it, it does look pretty good. I'm definitely looking forward to fall as well. To touch on a couple things before we end the show, so we have a couple quick things we want to run down. So, Dan, we play this game, well, all of us actually play this game, 20 million players on Rainbow Six. So, compared to when the game first launched, we know a lot. They've improved that game a lot, even though this last update is completely horrendous. I don't give a shit what you say, Dan. Operation Health has been the worst update that they have done, but it's still a game I play. So how from Dan, who also got it day one, Barbosa I know picked it up late. Well, we'll have you talk about it as well. Dan, how have you felt from when the game started? Even though, like I said, this new update is completely garbage. How have you felt about Siege?
They did a lot of great improvements for this game. Server-wise, I mean, of course it can still be better. It can always be a little bit better. But you get those crappy-ass hitboxes sometimes, and you see it's a plain headshot, but, it doesn't go through. But I gotta say, this is obviously still one of my favorite games right now. I don't even think I played a Call of Duty game longer than I played Rainbow Six, because there's always another Call of Duty every year. In this game, they've been actually sticking with it, trying to make it better for us, and I think they're doing a good job. The Operation Health isn't going the way it's supposed to, but it's actually making a lot more progress. And Operation Health is still a beta program right now, and it will become better as it progresses. And a final release of the health Operation Health is with the new operators, which we'll have 3 of them, which is very nice. And I don't know, I still love that game a lot. So that's a game I'm still going to be playing for a while.
I still love it too. But like I said, I just think that this DLC, what they promised, has been a letdown. The hitboxes are trash. You still get kicked out of games. It hasn't really. And then the other night we were stuck in Central and South Central servers. Like every one of us is in East Coast. So I mean, what the hell? Like, why are we stuck in South Central servers? Why are we in freaking Central servers or West Coast servers? It's terrible. I mean, I hate this update, but it's still a fantastic game. I love it. I hope they continue. I hope they come out with a season 3. I hope they don't even come out with a new Rainbow Six. I hope they continue. They keep pushing this game, and I hope they come out with a season 3 of DLC. Hopefully they do that.
The way this game is growing and progressing, and the esports, and then just in general, there's definitely going to be a season 3. Now there has to be a season 3.
They should just continue with going strong with games like this instead of making sequels. If the game is successful, just keep pumping out seasons. The season pass is only $30 anyway. It's not a lot. So Barbo, no, I know you weren't sold on it originally, and then you started to see it grow a little bit more. Then the Brazilian DLC came out, and then I know that's not what fully sold you, but you saw that all of us were playing it. You saw it grow from when you first finally picked it up till now. How have you felt about the game as progression?
It's been a long way, man. I think it's definitely improved. Like you said, health, it's not 100% there, but if we look back, right, when we first started playing all together, it is a major difference. How many times that the servers crash and getting to a party and starting a queue, it was hard. It wasn't easy. It's definitely an improvement. I mean, I feel like there's still more room for improvement, and I think this is one of the most successful online infrastructure that Ubisoft ever had so far. I think this is it. This is like their major title. Yeah. You know, EA has their sports games. Sony and Microsoft, they have their own titles. But like the online wise, this is Ubisoft's game. Like this is their online. Like Division is there, Ghost Recon is there, but I don't think they're even getting near Rainbow in terms.
No,
of...
as far as like esports and everything goes, no, Rainbow Six is dominating right now with the tournaments and everything.
You know, Rainbow right now has 2 million plus users daily, which is fabulous. their esports isn't really as big as, let's say, Call of Duty, but it's definitely getting up there, big time. But this game, you know what? What's one thing that Ubisoft always fucks up on is driving mechanics. But they can't fuck up a drone driving mechanics, can they?
No, they absolutely not. But definitely, what a big improvement. Like I said, I hope they continue next year. Hopefully, they say, you know what, we're just going to do another season, $30, which is perfectly fine by me. I just hope that the next DLC is much better than this garbage Operation Health they pumped out. But Headshot Dan, I know you got some news to finish up with, so Headshot Dan, I'll let you take the reins with and finish up on some news.
Yeah, I don't got too much going on right now. No, Spotify finally came to Xbox. No, really good. I'm Spotify Premium. I love Spotify. I use it every single day. And it's no longer a PlayStation exclusive. And it uses as a background music. So I think I'm not a big fan of playing background music. I mostly, maybe if I'm playing like a game like Ark or something like that. You guys ever play with background music before, or not your type?
I've seen it. Yeah, it distracts me too much too. I've seen a couple streamers do it, and I know it helps out the audience a little bit, but I can't play with background music. I'm too distracted. I'm trying to hear, I'm trying to communicate, especially with the games that we play. We need to communicate. So I rather not have rock music blasting in my ear while I'm trying to play.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable. I think it's time for us to jump back into Overwatch, because the Summer Games is almost here, and who doesn't like some good old Lucio Ball? You guys ever play Lucio Ball?
I know.
I've heard of it. I've seen it. Lucio Ball is kind of like the soccer, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, it's so much fun, man. It's crazy fun. Me and Diego used to play that Lucio Ball so much on PC though, and they got a whole bunch of neat skins coming out for Overwatch. I mean, I play Overwatch from time to time with Buddha and stuff, but I know you guys don't play Overwatch anymore. But this is something I'm definitely looking forward to. I mean, Pat, you still have Overwatch?
It's the negative, Ghost Rider.
Don't. Barbosa, you still got it? You got it on PC, right?
I got it on. I still have it on my Xbox.
All right, that means I gotta call Diego up, and we're gonna get some Lucio Ball going. Yeah.
You won't play.
Man, he will. These skins are pretty fucking neat too, man. But I mean, I think that's all that I got going on.
I definitely.
So I think this
is. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight. Thank you guys again for joining us. Headshot Dan and I, he doesn't know this, but we're going to be, well, he should know this. We're actually going to be discussing when we're going to start our first YouTube segment. We definitely got to get on that. Dan, when do you think we should push out the first content? What do you think? We still got about 3 weeks left of August. So when do you think?
Can't do this week or next week. I say the last weekend, maybe the 26th, 27th in that area. We can try to do something. For sure. Do something as do the first segment or
do our first
release segment of first time playing.
That's fine.
Which I already got Pat's game. But Barbosa, what was Pat's game? Zelda, right? Oh, Zelda. I think Pat's gonna play Zelda.
Correct. That is right. Breath of the Wild, guys.
So this guy will be playing Zelda on my Switch, which will be broadcasted and put on YouTube.
I'm excited to see that, guys. You should be. This guy never played Zelda in his life.
He doesn't, but now he is, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that big ass smile of woo happiness.
Well, Dan, yours is life is strange before the next one comes out.
I'm excited. I really want to play that. You know
what? He might like it, Dan. You never know, right? Maybe he'll become a Zelda fan after this.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Maybe Pal will be like, yo, let me just borrow your DS. Let me finish Zelda real quick. No, let me borrow your Switch so I can finish Zelda real quick.
I don't think so.
I don't know. The world is full of possibilities.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait for this day. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely, content will definitely be up there soon. We are definitely going to be throwing some Rainbow Six Siege content up there soon. I'm going to start something a little bit new. I'm going to be doing top 10 plays of the week that are going to be players captures. So if you guys want to submit some footage, just go to inyourmomsbasement.com. On the top right, you'll see a upload a video link where you can submit your footage and hopefully be put on a video, because we're going to be doing also prizes. So the best play of the month will also receive a prize. The prize is not yet discussed, but it will be soon.
And also, to catch up, No Show is going to be on a couple segments too. I don't think and I hope he doesn't think he's going to be hiding. So he better be prepared to be on a couple too.
Yeah, we're going to get Eddie on that Test Your Friendship.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Exactly.
Gonna get some Marrow Party going, huh? Steal some stars?
Also, what I would really like to work on with all of us, which I mentioned to Headshot Dan, is I want to get a big game with all of our friends of Friday the 13th. I think that's a good test your friendship type of game. I just want to get all of us as friends. I know No Show has it. The guy he game shares with has it. I know Dan has it. Diego. I mean, that's a good amount of people right there. I think that's a full room. So I definitely want to get a night where we just all of us have a turn to play as Jason and see who escapes. See if we, I just want to check it out, and then we should definitely stream that, broadcast it. So I talked about it with Headshot Dan, and hopefully you're down, No Show.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Another thing, I
don't know if he heard me. Did he hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard.
No Show, you heard me?
He just sounds disappointed.
Yeah.
No,
Show,
sorry, Seb. I'm at like a glitch for a last second.
Oh, so it sounds not through his headset anymore, but it's okay because we're at the end of the stream. We will be doing starting probably next month. We're going to be starting playing with viewers, games with viewers. So we'll do some Rainbow Six private matches with some viewers. We're also going to be doing some Jack in the Box with some viewers, and we're going to start playing with our viewers, interacting with our viewers a lot more, and we're gonna love you guys, give you guys hugs, and play some games. Yeah.
So check us out next week, same time as always, 8:30 Eastern time. Take care, guys. Are you guys going? I'm going on Siege. I don't know if anyone wants to play.
Yeah, I'll play an hour of Siege. Yeah.
Yeah, same
Sounds
here.
good to me.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm hopping on.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Take care, guys.